What is commitment in a relationship? Commitment is people's willingness to stay together. All relationships require a certain degree of commitment. Commitment to family or friends is obviously different from commitment to a romantic partner. In general, romantic relationships require more commitment than friendships. In simple terms, commitment is a form of social contract that both parties accept. Labeling yourselves as friends, a couple, or married people is what seals the contract. The problem is that the specific clauses in the contract are usually not explicitly outlined by each party. The content of this contract tends to be a reflection of the expectations society believes each party should fulfill. The primary goal of commitment in relationships is for each partner to feel some form of security and control. When you are in a contract, you feel comfortable having certain expectations of how your partner should behave. It helps you predict what types of situations might end up popping up, so you can react accordingly. It is helpful in many ways to have some control and feel secure in relationships. For example, raising children is easier when a couple is committed to each other. This is because children are completely and utterly defenseless and need their parents' constant care. Commitment in relationships today. What does it mean today? In general, people think that commitment involves a few things. Loyalty. Most people consider infidelity a strong reason to end a romantic relationship. A desire to keep the relationship going for the foreseeable future. If one of the parties wants to break up after a short time, then you will probably agree that they were not committed. Is commitment a good or bad thing? If you pay close attention to your relationships, you will see that many of them are toxic to some extent. This is because commitment in relationships can lead to many problems due to the implied social contract. Expectations. It entails the need for one to have control over the other. Implied social contract. Implied social contracts are implied conditions each party has to fulfill. In many cases, both parties do not express what they expect from the other. On the contrary, they begin their relationship with certain expectations of how their partner should behave. Each individual has their own interpretation of what commitment in a relationship entails. Therefore, there are many conflicts that can arise at the beginning of the relationship due to these individual expectations. Social expectations. When you are committed to another person, you have a set of ideas about how your partner should behave in order to make you happy. However, problems can arise when one party does not meet the expectations of the other. Generally, both parties try to fulfill the other's expectations. However, this sometimes happens by compromising one's own needs. This can sooner or later lead to dissatisfaction. The need for control. In conclusion, commitment can make you feel a need to control your partner. It may be rooted in your need for security. The problem is that control can lead to emotional dependence. Therefore, sooner or later your partner may feel trapped and frustrated. Autonomy is a human need. We cannot force other people to act according to our rules. A relationship based on oppression prevents freedom. And this leads to dissatisfaction and unhappiness. Conclusion on commitment in a relationship. Commitment is an agreement between two parties. Despite the fact that it is an important aspect in romantic relationships, it should not become the primary aspect. Those who take it to extremes can end up doing more harm than good. Nevertheless, most commitment issues can be resolved if you explain what you expect from your partner. It is also important to give your partner the freedom he or she is entitled to. These two things are fundamental to happy relationships.